Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader with a quick market update. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Alright, here on the left, I got the gold chart pulled up and CFDs on silver right below it there. Essentially, we had gotten that bottom out on silver right at the 200 moving average and on gold just below. From there, we were able to find some strength, got some bullish engulfing candles, massive move up. You can see on silver, we got that large wick off of the 200, which was a clear rejection of lower prices, followed by massive continuation, consolidated in the range with all the moving averages on the daily, and then we were able to punch through. Gold is a little less bullish based on the daily. Did get that bullish engulfing move up, but it is still below the 89 and 50-55, although we flipped over the parabolic SAR green. Both of them got the hard buy signal, leaving the Stoch slope accumulation zone. And right now, currently, we've got the histogram on silver above the blue slope, which was flipped over already, signaling a strong trending move to the upside, potentially in the beginning stages. And then also on gold, we are right at that same level as well. Looks like if we can bust through the moving averages right here, we can get continuation to at least retest the top of the range at like that 1970. And if we can get above that, we'll probably retest the all-time highs and potentially get the continuation that we've been expecting. We did find support exactly on the 200s as expected, and everything is playing out textbook. We could still get potential moves to the downside, but looking at the daily and shorter time frames, no way we're not going to see that coming. And then just moving over to Bitcoin now. On the 4-hour here, we were talking about the potential Adam and Eve top. Still plenty of time for this to develop out, but you'll see that if we zoom in here, we were getting that descending triangle. We made the last video right around this range right here, and then we got the move up and retested, put in our third resistance point right here. And from that resistance point, we got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 4-hour candles in a row, followed by a bearish engulfing sell-off, and then a little continuation. Got an attempted push back up, but we're unable to take out the high from that bearish candle, at which point in time we did get one more test of the top of the range, and now I'm expecting continuation to the bottom. Potentially fill out this triangle just slightly more, but overall this is a bearish pattern at the top of a move up. So it's essentially going to start looking a lot like distribution here as we continue to see this play out, and then potentially get that measure move down from here. Find some support in the areas we had discussed before, and then potentially get that move all the way down to the neckline of the Adam and Eve we're developing at 16,550. And then looking at the VPCI, you'll see that we did get the massive sell-off and then attempt once, crossed over, but got rejected. And now we have a slope on both lines to the downside. We're expecting continuation, although it's not unheard of that we would get one more rejection to a higher point right here, fail to get a candle close above, and then get a solid move to the downside. We call that the throw over, basically walking out to the edge of the cliff, and rather than just dropping the price action off the edge of the cliff and getting a sell-off, they essentially throw the ball up in the air, and then use the extra momentum from the move up to take out the stop losses of the people back on the way down. So you essentially get like FOMO buying out of this range and then massive sell action into it. Essentially like pulling back a arrow before you shoot it. You pull it back in the opposite direction and it gives you more momentum to shoot it forward. In this case, you would be pulling the price action up and then shooting it downward. So paying attention to see how that develops. If we look at the waddah explosion, we are getting multiple bearish histograms in a row. Essentially at this point in time, we're starting to get more reds than oranges, which strengthens the trend. We are getting essentially like a stronger yellow trend to the downside, and potentially we could be flipping it back over soon. The stronger trends in that direction are going to flip the slope over blue. So if we get a strong trend to the downside, it would be blue. In the same way, a strong trend to the upside would be blue. And then when the trend is losing strength, we get like the yellow back into it. So essentially right here, we could easily flip this back over green and get that continuation, or like I'm expecting, more likely get a powerful trend to the downside. And then once again, we were talking about the on-balance volume. Previously, and essentially what we have happen is a bunch of bounces off that same zone right there, essentially just finding support, and then we get like a parabolic move up followed by a rejection, and then once again get that move up, find support, parabolic move up, find support, parabolic move up, rejection, and then again here we found that support right here. We're essentially at that point where we could potentially be breaking down and flipping this back over red. And you'll see that when we flip this over red multiple times in a row, that was the best areas to be accumulating and symbolize like a strong, powerful move to the downside. So that could potentially line up with taking us in line with some of these other targets we were looking at as well. So, and then you'll see once again we got the hard sell on the Bellina Cessna and potential move to the downside inbound. If we look at the hard rejection on the knife here too, we essentially flipped it over, came down below it, and then accumulated right at that range again. So we're either looking for a trend to the upside that would turn this green and then we would get a strong move with the blue, or flip that over to the downside yellow and a strong move with the red. So either one of those looks potential at the time right now, but we do have a support zone well down below here. And then finally just flipping over and taking a look at the moving averages, we are essentially in the same spot right there where we have all the moving averages like balled up in a row right there. We have the red looking to flip below the yellow, and if that happens, we'll have the red, the yellow, and the green, all three out of order for a potential move to the upside, which symbolizes that the trend may be flipping back over to the downside. And you know, we're right at that heart line of the channel right here, so it's not unrealistic to think that after this rejection from the heart line that we would potentially be getting that move to the downside, taking us back down to retest the 89 at 18,657, and then you know, that's obviously the bottom area of that triangle that we've been filling out as well. And then once again, just talking about the TJD TD MACD, we have clearly flipped over the slope line red now. We've gotten that rejection well below that point and multiple histograms to the downside, symbolizing that the trend is strengthening to the downside. And then finally, if we take a look at the Stoch slope as well, you'll see we have we put in a higher high on this point right here, but lower than this one here. But essentially we got rejected attempting to get back into the bullish control zone, and now we're selling off. We could come back down and retest this top point right here, or all the way down to the bottom. But essentially I would expect at least some kind of move off of the 50. So if we got that sell off back down here, bounce the 89 and the 50 at the same time and attempt to move back up, that would essentially give us something that looked like this if we get rejected and then get a massive move to the downside. So there you have it, just a quick little update on crypto, gold, and silver. And thanks for watching, guys. If you have not subscribed yet, I highly recommend it. Make sure you check out the indicators free on TradingView. And for this one, if you want any particular assets or technical analysis done, please leave a comment, and I will gladly take a look at any cryptos or stocks that you're interested in. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile. Please do your own research and trade responsibly. Crypto Trend Trader, and I'm out of here.